Hello. Okay, so today is June 6th, the 6/6 portal. That's why I'm making this video. I try not to get too caught up in the technicalities of it all, but I think there's a little bit of truth in everything, and like with everything in life, I feel like this is just on time, whatever this may be, because I realized yesterday that it was today, and I was like, oh, this is great because I got some shit that I gotta integrate. So I looked up the significance of this day and what it could mean, and it was talking about releasing a lot of karmic patterns and a lot of karmic just traits, habits, anything from your lineage that has been carried on into this lifetime, or just that you've accumulated in this lifetime that you no longer resonate and that you no longer know to be a part of you, especially if it's holding you back from being your best self. And I was like, wow, that's perfect, because literally right now, me. So for the most, I'm doing great. Life is great. Everything's aligned. I'm so grateful. Even when things get hard, you still I just know I'm right where I'm supposed to be. But there's no but. But I feel like sometimes when I see things like patterns and traits, habits, bad habits that I have, especially. Okay, so let me go back. So basically right now I am in Miami visiting. I'm originally from here. I moved to Massachusetts in October. I came here to try to get my dogs back up with me, but it just wasn't gonna work out this time, and that's okay. I already cried it out, I felt it out, and they're great. We got a lot of shit done anyway. So anyway, a big part of being here, I love it here. This is where all my family is. This is where I grew up, but I notice, especially from I visited 2 times since I've been here. This is the longest I've been here since I've moved, and I've realized that a big pattern or trait that kept coming up and that I've been dealing with pretty much my whole life is my eating. I'll be the first to admit it. I'll sit here and I can say it. My name is Lucita, and I was a food addict. And I say was because if you want something to be done within your life, use it in past tense. I'm not gonna say that it's me now, because I just don't associate with that. I know it is a big part of my life that has not held me back, because it's made me who I am today. When I grew up, I was overweight. I grew up in a big family. I grew up next to somebody who literally is a supermodel to this day. She was always beautiful, always skinny, always just gorgeous, and she's literally the most beautiful girl in the world to me. Freaking mosquito. But anyway, as I was saying, growing up next to somebody like that, we're 6 months apart. It just shows there was a lot of just self-hate, just a lot of fucking insecurities. I was self-conscious. I was all of that. I did everything. I did everything you can think of. I'm talking all the bad, all the good. To this day, I'm a lot better because obviously I've integrated a lot of things. I've implemented good habits. I love working out. I love cooking. Well, I'm not gonna say I love cooking. I prefer cleaning more, but I actually do enjoy the process of cooking and enjoying a good meal and stuff like that. I've done so much, and even when I first had my wake up call, that I felt like I integrated that part of me that was an overeater, that binge ate, that just relied on food to cope and deal with life. And I do for the most part. But then I also find myself, and even when I was in Massachusetts, finding being so focused, or so aware of what I was eating, how I was eating, if I'm eating too much, I feel I don't want to say it's never gonna go away, because I don't know, but I do feel it wasn't something I was completely done with, especially before I left. It was just I was just I know I'm doing great in terms of when I show up to the gym, or just being active and taking my supplements and doing stuff like that. But then it's also, I find these times where I'm just eating for no reason. I'm just eating because of boredom, or I'm just eating fast, just stuff like that I see it come up, and I'm that I'm aware that it's not all the way out of me, and that it's still something that is was present in my reality. But since being in Miami, that shit has just blown up in my face. Babes, because I love Miami. Miami has all my good food, which I'm not I wouldn't say I'm overindulging, finishing, well, depends, but doing too much. But it is times where I just am eating. Yesterday, I had a whole binge where I just was eating any and everything, and I was not even bored. Like, I know a part of it is too the foods that we eat and that I grew up eating was very heavily processed, filled with sugar. So those things get addictive. Like, I see, especially my family, you know, we're it's pretty present. And then not only that, I see it within my family too, bro. Like, they've always been like this, but like it's just been so present now because I love you, grandma, but I'm gonna just put it out there. My grandma got home from an appointment the other day and her doctor told her again, like, hey, you're gaining a lot of weight. You need to change something. You need to move. You need to eat better, or whatever it is. And you know, like, I'm hearing her, she's like, look, like, I want to enjoy it. Like, I'm older, like, I'm not gonna restrict myself completely. And but she also is aware that, you know, this is something that she needs to do for her health. And I'm just here like, wow, like, she literally cannot stop or cannot eat to save her life right now. And I obviously hope that would change, but it's also like something that I see within her and the rest of my family, that I just see there's a lot of like focus and just a lot of ill intention on how to deal with being overweight or just the relationship with food in general. And so I very much was like, all right, so this is what we're working with on this time, because I really feel like for the most part I have done, and I still continue to do a lot of work in all other aspects of my life. But this one, dealing with the past self, dealing with the past habits and things that really have just affected me. I mean, I'm so grateful for it, because at the end of the day it made me who I am. And I actually recently got into, I'm gonna botch when I say this, Ho'oponopono, I think something like that, where you just recite to yourself like these things, like these not these things, but this mantra of like, you know, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. Like, these things, and when I say, like, I definitely feel some power in it, and I say it to people that I feel like I've wronged, or like, you know, like just in general. Like, I said it like, well, let me just say, I said it a lot to myself yesterday, and I've been saying it a lot to myself recently, because I'm like, you know what, I have been really sabotaging and hurting myself by either being too aware, being too hyper focused, or just restricting myself in ways that that's not me letting go. That's not me surrendering or releasing in the way that I should, you know? Like, at the end of the day, I was talking about this. I watched a video on Ram Dass, and he was basically saying that we got to stop having preferences for life. And I was like, how am I going to stop having preferences? But he was like, okay, so you don't have to stop having preferences completely. You can have those preferences, but stop placing so much attention on it. Stop thinking it's like this way or no way. Like, at the end of the day, yes, you want these things out of life, but the more you focus, the more you try to grasp it and hold on to it and, you know, try to control it, it's never gonna manifest in the way you want it to. It's never gonna like happen or become in a very healthy way. So I'm like, okay, I have a preference for living a much healthier life, which I am healthy, thank God. But I mean, like, you know, feeling my best and looking my best in terms of, you know, how I think, like, you know, because I put in work. I put in work at the gym. So I'm like, if I can just get my food under control, then shit would be sweet. And I can't even think about all the times I've stopped and started on a Monday and started on a new year, and it's just like, I don't want to do that shit no more. I just want to enjoy my life and live it to the fullest in presence, but still have that like loving relationship with myself, that I want to care for myself in every moment and make the decision and have the discipline to move and take that action to like just do it. Like, I don't, like, obviously I have these preferences, but I don't want to just put so much focus on it. And I feel like that goes for everybody, like everybody. And I don't mean to like make this all about myself. Obviously, I feel like if you relate, you relate, because I feel like this is everybody's reality in terms of like overconsumption of anything, whether it's social media, whether it's drugs, alcohol. Food is a big one for a lot of people, and I really just I'm conquering this dragon because I know it's going to inspire so many people within my family and just the world, if possible. But like, I just know, like, at the end of the day, I feel like a big point that I'm trying to make is that I feel like we shouldn't put so much emphasis on trying to control how we do things. Yes, there is a form of discipline and implementing those right habits, But don't beat yourself up every time you fuck up. Don't beat yourself up every time you go back. Like, just keep up and just get up and try again, and just do it with love, with forgiveness, with just self-care. You know, that's the whole point, is just to really pour into ourselves, because I really feel like we can't truly love properly, and I mean like completely unconditionally, unless we do it for ourselves first. Because I mean, if it's anybody you gotta die and live with for the rest of your life, it's yourself, you know. But yeah, that's my whole point. I'm making this video because I just know that this day is a big day of transformation for me already. I think it's already done and said everything else, but I just love it because I know it's something that has been coming up in my awareness. And then yesterday I literally was like just going at it. I was in the snack cabinet just having any and everything. I was eating, I'm like having that, like, just why? It's just like, and then I'm like, I'm not really beating myself up for it, but I'm also like, girl, you know that you shouldn't be doing this. And so I went into the shower and I called on every member of my army, and I was just like, okay guys, I need you to help me. I need you to help me release this part of myself that I just no longer know that it's not me. And so I don't know what I got to do, but I'm just gonna love myself and just release, and you know, and trust that I'm being guided, supported, and protected and healed every day, every minute, every second of my life. And I know it's gonna work, because everything else in my life is working out. So yeah, just putting that out there now. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you guys for listening or not listening, and have a great day.